coming to understand how it is that Yeshua was not God was by experiencing that oneness with our Creator that he experienced. I've explained in other videos how it feels when, the awareness, the spirit is in me, I am one with it, and the statements made of what's coming through me, wants to be expressed through me, are first person. And so I have to remember to say, okay, this is the spirit of our Creator, says, I've broken the wheel of karma. The anger that the Pharisees and Sadducees had in response to Yeshua, I was given an experience to understand why. When I was withdrawing from, leaving the place where I was living before, and the previous video, I talked about the practices that I had to engage in and how I could see exactly what was involved there. But there were certain individuals. One, I think he was called like a vulture, his designation. He was just this very little creepy man who rode his bicycle around. And he's the one who would scout out victims. And another one who was an elder in that community decided who lived, who died, whose place got burnt down, and things like that. But on normal interactions, because I wasn't involved in any of that, he was just a creepy old man who would ask, oh, will you dance for me? Because he caught me out, dancing in the desert. I thought I was unobserved, and that's kind of like a way for me to pray, to express, to appreciate, my physicality, my environment. It's a form of worship for me. And he caught me. And so every time I'd see him, he'd be like, oh, you dance for me? And I'd be like, no, creep, go away. And the other one, he was just, big-eared, goofy, good old boy in the day-to-day interactions and stuff like that. Because I wasn't aware through most of my living there of what he was or what he did. But when that time came and I was so full of spirit, that creepy old guy on his bike, I was just given to grab the handlebars and look him square in the eye and hold it. And at first he's all like, oh, I could tell your attention. And then he stops. And then the pure rage, he just wanted to. And I just let go, turned my back, and walked away. And the same thing with that elder. Sitting at the table where we would gather with coffee. And I could tell that there was a lot of possession going on between these three people. And I was given to sit in a chair. They'd move a game piece. I would move a game piece. And they were just word prompts. Nobody was themselves. They were not in their right mind. Somebody who would normally talk to me, hey, you got a cigarette? You're always so good to me. Blah, 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 could not speak unless it was given. And that elder was there. And so, Finally, he came out of whatever he was doing to the other two, and he looked at me, and again looked him square in the eye and held it. And he's at first, "Oh, it's you. Oh, hey." And then the pause. And then he's leaping up out of the chair, and he's going to leap on me. I got up, turned my back to him, and just walked away. That is the demonic response, the anger. And they can't do anything to you. It is so powerful. But it's not something I even assume or take for granted that I'm going to be gifted that. There are other times where I'll be pelted with visualizing hurting somebody who is mean to me. Be pelted and pelted and pelted and pelted and pelted and just want to, hurt that person. But then as I pass them in a public place, I'm just filled with the purest of love. And their presence, there's nothing but love, even though they're there. These are the gifts. These are the states of being that oneness can bring. I mean, somebody could jump on you and be pounding on you. You won't be bruised, not a bone broken, nothing. I had a boyfriend once who I wasn't aware of it until afterwards. He was hooked on crack, and he had pinned me to the ground, and I just froze, paused, played dead. And he had a box cutter, and he was going to stab me. He was going to cut me with it. And instead, he just went crazy and turned it on himself. I fled. I never looked back. I don't know how much damage he did to himself, if he even did it or anything. But that's our Creator protecting us. And I had to go through all of that to know and understand how it is that Yeshua is not God. What I believe is, in one of the accounts of Enoch, it talks about how our Creator had envisioned what was wanting to be created, and there was this being that was full of light, and within it was contained everything for the fulfillment of what our Creator envisioned. And so the Creator commanded that entity give birth. There's the light. That is the body in which we dwell. And that's why you eat of his body, you drink of his blood. Because it was within this structure that is conscious from which we came. And that consciousness is what came to be in a man who was named Yeshua. That resonates with me. That's my truth. As it stands right now, that's my truth. That is what makes sense of the scriptures as they're communicated. And yes, by doing that, making that sacrifice, coming and experiencing everything and suffering. That is the act that saves us, that redeems us. But the one who put that into effect is the one who saves us. And so you read through scripture, the Messiah is given the name King of Kings and Lords of Lords. God will give a name that God is known by to a people. Israel, Elohim, El. And so, if our Creator gives what became Yeshua one of the names, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because they did this. It's their body by which this occurred. That happens. That's what happens. But even Yeshua, while alive and after resurrection, would say, do not worship me. Worship the Father. That is where all the honor and the glory go. And if you read in Enoch, when Enoch became Metatron and was given one of the Creator's names, somebody was brought there in vision and said, oh, there are two gods in heaven. It was Enoch that got the whipping with the lightning. Not the person who made the mistake, but Enoch who took the whipping. So, even though, like you read in scripture, an angel of the Lord, and they will respond, oh, my Lord, my God, while interacting with this angel. They're a representative of acting the voice of the presence is there, and you are addressing the presence inside that person. And that's okay. So if I've seen people, they'll look at me and they'll be like, they'll ask a question and then all of a sudden an answer will come to me. And they're like, you didn't know that until just now. They see the answer coming to me. The divine action, the activity going on. They recognize it. And so if I am embodying, if I am one with the Creator, and the Creator is speaking through me, you are addressing, you are responding to the Creator. Not this person, not this personality, but to our Creator themselves when present and communicating as Creator with you. So that is the oneness. That is the confusion why people say, oh, Yeshua is God. And no. And not even Yeshua would support that. But it does explain the confusion when you're reading in scripture, oh, we're supposed to the King of Kings and the Lords of Lords, and blah, blah, blah. And the confusion may arise. Okay, is this Creator the King of Kings, Lord of Lords? Is this Yeshua the King of Kings, Lord of Lords? That you have to have the context that, okay, this is the one you worship. This is the one you show appreciation for their being there and being this expression. Context is everything. And it is hard for the simple human mind. I slip. I'll just type it out. Like, I am the gate. Shoot, that's got my name on it because it's on my blog, and I have to go back. Yeshua is the gate. And this is the understanding that's coming through me right now. Like, the prophets, they understood. They said, this is the word of, the Lord our God. And then they speak in first person. We just don't live in a culture where, you see people walking down the street at any point going, this is the word of God. And, our Creator voicing through that person. At least not usually. We usually mistake them for crazy people on the street. Oh my goodness, I gotta become a crazy person on the street. I don't know. That may be my fate. Yep, that's how it happens.